Welcome to Inside the Program, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. I'm Joe Cook. That's Eric Naleen. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you head to Inside Texas. Sign up for $1. Get your first week for just that $1. You're going to stick around after you see all the insight, analysis, recruiting scoop, Longhorns football coverage that we have, not only for this game, but for the A&M game, for what happens after the A&M game, National Signing Day, roster building efforts, anything that might change after the Longhorn season. We'll have it all on Inside Texas at that first link in the video's description and also there with that QR code. So pause the video, scan that QR code. That'll take you right to where you need to go to join Inside Texas. And some of the notes, Eric, that you talked about last night over on Inside Texas, got those up a little bit earlier than usual. The defensive approach versus a potent Arkansas offense. 3 first-year Longhorns who are going to be seeing probably seeing some more reps. Notes on Texas offense versus a piecemeal Razorbacks defense, and then the Longhorns mindset entering the week. Lots of noise from internal and external sources, but interesting one. But let's look at what's going on the field. Texas is going against a offense called by Bobby Petrino, led by Taylon Green. That has not been Arkansas's problem this year.
No.
And is reason why so many of their losses, all 8 of them are almost all 8 of them are pretty darn close.
Yeah, they can run the ball, they can pass the ball, they can score on anybody. They've had really good teams back against the wall. Ole Miss, Tennessee, they could have won either of those games. They could put points on the board in a hurry. Fortunately for Texas, they can also give them up in a hurry. It all starts with their quarterback. He's a very good runner, and he'll throw it deep. He's improved a lot as a passer since he came over from Boise State. They know they've got to keep him in the pocket. They've got to get after him, bring pressure, and also spy him. And I think, Texas always has a good plan to spy these guys. They've got a number of guys. They rotate it so it's not so predictable. Try to keep him in the pocket. They know his tendencies where he's stronger over the middle of the field. They know that when he's pressured, all quarterbacks struggle when they're pressured, but he struggles a lot more than most. He doesn't really have that same knack that Arch does to make people miss and reset. So I think you're going to see a pretty good game plan as far as containing him, but he's still going to make some plays. They're probably going to bust something and leave the tight end open. I've compared this game in a number of different ways to the Vanderbilt contest, and so you already know I'm expecting a pretty high scoring game.
This one's going to be fun to track, and even if Anthony Hill, we don't anticipate him going. I know Justin reported that earlier this week. He's still shown up as questionable, but the fact that he has not improved his status kind of shows where Justin's coming from, why that's probably going to be the case. Even so, you're going to have guys like Ty Anthony Smith, Leongo Lafau, and probably at times Trey Moore, who are going to have to do a good job of making sure Taylon Green doesn't get out and get upfield and pick up some extra first downs for this Arkansas offense.
Yeah, they've got a number of different spies they can use. Probably 5 of them. I would throw Colin Simmons in there because that guy can do anything. If anybody saw the Texans last night, wait until Colin Simmons weighs about 255 pounds. I think he's going to be a lot similar to Will Anderson because of that motor. So you can do anything with Colin. Yeah, number of spies. The lack of talent is not the issue. It's been the coordination. They've tweaked some things. I think they became a little bit too predictable in how they operated their preferred style of cover 3. There's a lot of different ways to run cover 3. They've made some tweaks to be less predictable. They've got a lot of different defensive packages. It's not the lack of creativity and it's not the personnel. It's the actual coordination and teaching and techniques and making it so that the players understand their role rather than coverage busts. There's a couple of interesting wrinkles in this game. I guess while we're talking, might as well just keep going. I'm not sure if we'll see them, but there could be a new linebacker that they haven't played yet, just as far as trying to stop the defense, the offensive passing attack. There's a lot of different things they can come up with. It's not a lack of creativity. It's been execution the last few weeks.
I call him 3 first-year Longhorns, but that linebacker you're referencing, he's a college football veteran. He actually wore Razorbacks colors last year in this game. Now he's playing for Texas, and you highlighted Brad Spence as the transfer who could see a little bit more time, not only as a result of just game plans, but with Anthony Hill's status.
Yeah, with Hill out, they definitely repped Spence a lot more at off-ball linebacker than they had in a long time. He spent all the spring at off-ball, so he knows what he's supposed to do, at least, to some degree. It's not muscle memory like if he'd been there the whole time. But yeah, Brad Spence is becoming a bigger part of the game plan each week, and it's not just because Hill is out. They just really like him as a player. I think next year he's going to play a very foundational role for the defense. He'll probably do what Trey Moore has done, which is a mix of off ball and edge. But this week we could see even more of Brad Spence by virtue of Hill being out.
Looking at the two other first year players, these are true freshmen from Texas 2025 class. One has played a lot over the past few weeks, some due to injury, and now it kind of seems more and more due to his own exploits, and that's cornerback Cade Phillips.
Yeah, I mean, he's flashed since he got to campus pretty much. And, I was surprised to learn that they were pretty happy with his technique as far as true freshman goes. He's a little bit further along than I think they expected. The big thing for him is just getting more reps and getting a little bit more comfortable playing college football from a physicality standpoint. He's a longer, leaner guy, got a wiry build, but he's starting to throw his weight around a little bit more, getting more and more reps with the ones in practice. He looks like the future next year, but he might have something to say about the present in the next 2 games.
I think that touchdown pass against him at Georgia, I look at it and see he was that far apart. And it's like, man, that's a tough lesson. You're making that play 10 times out of 10 down at Hightower, but
that
you're
was
going
that was
against somebody
NFL
tough.
that was NFL accuracy. There's just nothing you can
Right.
do about it. Charles Woodson wouldn't have knocked that one down. I mean, it was a heck of a throw. He's right there. And he'll learn from that. Next year he might knock that down just because he's got that length and that twitch. He's a specimen. I'm really excited to cover him this offseason.
The other first year player, the other true freshman was Justice Terry. We saw a little bit more of him at the end of the Georgia game. That game was pretty much decided. Georgia was running the football, but you still saw some flash plays and him make some wow plays. And he's apparently started to get some more trust from the coaches. It seems like it's been slow and incremental throughout the year, not one big jump, but now he's at a point to where Texas feels like they really need him on standard downs.
Yeah, some of those plays, the game was almost over, but it doesn't really matter if you're looking at his traits. He's still throwing guys away, throwing guys around, using really good quickness to get in the backfield. He's a specimen. Now, here's the thing. Cade has actually benefited from the weightlifting this season, getting stronger. I think Justice has probably lost weight in this season. It's harder to keep weight on during the year for some of these guys. So that's something to keep track of for him going forward. But yeah, he's been playing more and more. I think we'll see him a little bit earlier in the game than when we saw him come in very late against Georgia. Man, he's going to be everything that everybody hoped he would be. It's just he's got bodies in front of him. But the guy that he was compared to, this is quite encouraging, is Lance Jackson. It's like he's got all the physical traits and all the physical tools and the athleticism, but then he's got the mindset, the drive, and and he's very coachable. So sky's the limit. Hope to see a lot more of him this week. They do have a good running game. And then, obviously with the quarterback as well. So, a guy that can get in the backfield, can cause havoc plays to get him out of that run game if they get him out there.
Before we keep going, got to show some love to our sponsor. That is Academy Sports and Outdoors. The holiday season is here, and Academy Sports and Outdoors has the legendary gifts you need at undefeatable prices every day. Shop in-store or online at academy.com to save on gifts on everybody's list, from football jerseys and basketball hoops to fire pits and deer stands. The most wonderful time of the year happens here. This Christmas, give the gift of fun from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Undefeatable? Is that written undefeatable?
Undefeatable.
Really? Okay.
Cannot be beaten.
Well, I mean, I understand. Yeah, I was just thought it was undefeated. Okay. All right.
We got. I don't know how to segue. We'll just keep going. What are some of the notes that you had on Texas offense against a Razorbacks defense that has been the obvious weakness, whether it was Sam Pittman or Bobby Petrino leading the way?
Yeah, well, I didn't really ask about Arch a whole lot just because I think, we've got a pretty good handle on him. We expect Ryan Wingo to play, and I know the fans are up and down on him. I love the dude, hate the drops for him, especially when you hear what kind of program guy he is and how hard he works. It's unfortunate when this stuff happens to the good players, the good guys. He's working through it. I think he's going to play a pivotal role in this game. And remember what I said earlier, Vanderbilt sort of game. I think Arkansas susceptible on the perimeter. I think Texas can be more physical and faster, for sure faster. And to really take advantage of that, you need Ryan Wingo to have a big game. He's been practicing like normal. I think he's going to have he's got a chance to get right after some misfortune against Georgia. Arch, again, we talked about Arch doing well. They think they can run the ball this week. Arkansas is quite large up front, but there's certain ways you can exploit their size. perhaps outside zone. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see. I think, offensive line, I think is playing a little bit better than it probably looked like against Georgia. It was going up against Georgia. Georgia got them up front, obviously, got too much pressure on Arch. I don't think Arkansas is going to have as much success as Georgia did. So Texas should be able to move the ball. That's part of the fireworks, right? Texas is going to score the ball. The question is, how much does Arkansas?
We'll see if the balance between the desire for 11 personnel and spreading things out between Sark and his kind of ingrained in him. I want to run the football. I want to get some. I think I wrote this may be a game we look up and it's like, oh, there's like 100 yards from Trey Wisner. We didn't even know how it got to that point. So I could see that happening, and it's still being a little bit of mix of what everybody wants to see. Some spreading things out, but also still running the football a little bit. Last but not least, been a loud week. We have Desmond Howard taking his trash to the curb. We got Sark addressing that. And we've got, a team that's 7-3 whose playoff chances depend on going 9-3. It's not as much fun, I'm sure, as the team would have liked for it to have gone this year with 3 road losses, but a chance to win at home and a chance to keep things going for this team. And it sounds like most everybody pretty much is trying to do it like they have been all season.
Yeah, we caught up with a number of people about this because it is important. The mindset you have going into a game, man, a lot of times that determines the outcome. You've got to have confidence and you've got to have that fire and motivation. There's 2 things that have concerned us this week: the rumors of Sark and all that. How do they take that? Everything I've heard, they've done a really good job of blocking that out. As far as the motivation with the playoffs looking less likely, I haven't heard it's a concern. I just, understanding human nature. Obviously, you're going to have some concerns about that. It's good to be back home again. I think that does help. But yeah, they've blocked out the Sark nonsense. That doesn't seem to be a concern at all. They blocked it out against Mississippi State, even though they didn't come out all that great in that game. I think they're ready to play. But again, are they looking ahead to A&M? I hear that they're not looking ahead to A&M, but the proof's going to be in the pudding on Saturday of how hungry this team, and truly that's exactly what I'm looking for more than anything, is how hard do they play. This season is already lost to me. It was lost to me in the offseason. There's really, I can't get more mad. I'm exhausted about frustration and anger. There's no point in it. I will be frustrated and highly angry if they don't play hard with a lot of pride and come out and play well. More assignment sound, more discipline, less penalties. I mean, this is all stuff they can control.
You heard it literally right after the Georgia loss, 2-game season, and that seems like it's been what's carried over this week and getting everything ready for these games, for SEC games. And Sark always likes to talk about you can lose any game in this conference because of the level of play from these teams, even if they are 2-8 or 0-6. Like,
well, remember what we said after Oklahoma, right? They played with a lot of fire. We're like, well, they're not going to be able to replicate that exactly, but they can at least approximate it to some degree. And they played poorly that game. They got lucky to they actually got lucky they got behind, because then they had to come out firing and they started to find their actual offense. But they didn't come out playing great in that game. So it's a big concern. They have not played a whole lot of great football this year, sparingly here and there, and so. We'll probably see flashes on Saturday of offense and probably some ineptitude and holding and some assignment busts. And hopefully they can come out with a victory. But just play hard. You can control that, and then go on to A&M.
Going to be a lot of fun to track, not only this week, but over the course of the holiday week. Come join Inside Texas. I know it's Feast Week in college basketball, but you might as well call it Feast Week on Inside Texas. And all you need to do to get on Inside Texas is just join for $1. Use that first link in our description. Use that QR code. Get the best Texas Longhorns intel, the best team insight, the best analysis, the best recruiting scoop, and come be part of the best Texas Longhorns community, all for $1. November, December, lots of stuff happening in the college football world. We'll be tracking it there over on Inside Texas. So, Eric, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Inside the Program, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.